Chief Communications Officer for the 4th Judicial District Attorney's Office. We are nearing the 3-year mark since Fountain Police Officer Julian Becerra was severely injured in the line of duty on February 2nd in 2023. In the hospital, Julian fought for his life for 9 days and ultimately succumbed to his injuries on February 11th, 2023. Today, Julian's killer was convicted and sentenced by an El Paso County District Court judge. District Attorney Michael Allen, supported by our trial team, Assistant District Attorney Brent Nelson, Chief Deputy District Attorney Jeff Harwood, are standing by to provide you with that information. Also here today, Julian's wife, Katie, his parents, Gabriel and Claudia, Fountain Police Department Chief Mark Cristiani, El Paso County Sheriff Joseph Roybal, and City of Fountain Mayor Sharon Thompson, each of whom carries the pain of Julian's loss, each of whom has shown up during this lengthy court process and seen it through every step of the way. We will have some time for questions. Please hold on to those until our speakers have been heard. First, District Attorney Michael Allen.
Thank you all for being here today. Today is the end of a nearly 3-year march towards justice when the man who took the life of Fountain Police Officer Julian Becerra was sentenced to 132 years in the custody of the Department of Corrections. This grueling court process, made even more difficult due to the changes in the law as it relates to habitual offenders, resulted in delayed justice. But justice was achieved. For Julian's family and those brothers and sisters in blue, today marks just another step in the healing process. They will travel a tough road forward. It will be filled with anger, frustration, pain, but it will also be filled with happy memories and profound love. Love for a husband, a father, a brother, uncle, and son who was taken much too soon at the hands of a violent repeat offender. While we know nothing about this case will bring Julian back, he will be forever remembered in our hearts. Julian Becerra, like so many other officers across this great country, dedicated his life towards standing for something much bigger than himself. He willingly placed himself in the path of danger so that all of us can live in peace and without worry. Men and women in blue, at the start of each shift, put on their uniforms, fasten their duty belts, and straighten their badges. They then kiss their families goodbye, never knowing if that shift will be their last. Despite the danger, they stand face to face with evildoers, willing to lay their lives on the line to stop the madness. This case, here in Colorado, also stands for an unfortunate reality. There are consequences for a soft-on-crime approach through policy adoption and the erosion of laws. The consequences are felt by real people, like these folks here today. They're profoundly impacted. Families are torn apart. Communities are shaken to the core. Violent criminal behavior has no excuse, and those who choose to do evil in this community will be held fully accountable to the law, just as what happened in this case. I'll have some comments later, but now I want to turn it over to Katie Alderman, Julian's wife. Katie?
Today has been a really good day for all of us in this process. Julian wore his badge with honor and bravery, and he loved serving his community. His loss will continue to be felt deeply every day. I just want to thank the DA team. You guys were amazing, and the support of the community. It's been a really long journey, but there is some light at the end of our tunnel and some solace today.
Thank you, Katie. And next we'll bring up Gabriel and Claudia Becerra.
Like Katie said today, it's a great day for us today. Unfortunately, it's not a great day for Mr. Bobian, which he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. And it's not that we don't care for him. Unfortunately, he chose the worst path to go. instead of choosing what my son picked, the right thing to do for people around us and around you. And, you know, God help him to be a better person in prison, help other prisoners before they get out, and show him that it's nothing good coming out of what bad things do. It's really hard to understand that, but, you know, like I said, we're happy. Unfortunately, he's not. I want to thank Jeff, the whole team, and everybody, all the blue, all the people, all the guys that worked with my son and did everything with him. And they were his friends. You know, there's a specific person that I would like to name that worked with him, workers, they were partners. But I'm not going to name no names especially because they know who I'm talking about and they can hold it in their heart. But everybody in blue, do your job. Keep up the good work that you guys do, especially because we need to be safe. And keep up the good work again. And thank you for what you all did for us today, especially the court. Thank you.
Next, I just want to say some quick remarks before we turn to the chief and to the sheriff. Results like what was achieved today are the direct result of strong partnerships, collaboration and investigation, and keeping eyes firmly fixed on justice. Chief Mark Cristiani will be up next, and I just want to tell you thank you to everybody with your department. You do fantastic work down there. You're a great partner for us, and we could not be here today without the work that you all do every single day. And then Sheriff Joe Roybal, same to you. The collaboration and professionalism and the dedication that your office has towards achieving justice for this community is certainly felt and understood by members of this office, and we appreciate the partnership that we have with you. With that, I'd like to have Chief Cristiani come up.
Thank you, Michael. Good evening. My name's Mark Cristiani. I'm the Chief of Police for Fountain. You know, I don't have anything prepared. I've written a lot and rewrote and put in the trash and rewrote again. And, you know, I want to speak from the heart, take a page out of Katie's book. You know, this has been very difficult for our department. I'll never forget the day I arrived on scene. I wasn't the chief at the time, but the absolute chaos and looks on the officers' faces when they knew their brother had fallen. And I think even though we were in denial and we probably thought and hoped that Julian would return to us, that day never came. And we all know, obviously, Julian died many days later. He paid the ultimate sacrifice that we ask all of our officers to someday they might have to pay. And, you know, I almost feel like I don't deserve to be up here because standing in front of Julian's parents and his wife and his son and daughter who are at home, you know, to be here as a police chief talking about what happened is surreal, something I've never had to do before. By the grace of God, I hope I never have to do again, but I know that when duty calls, every Fountain police officer across this nation will respond, will do what we are paid to do. I feel lucky that I've been able to touch and hold Julian's son, and he doesn't get to do that anymore. But I can still see Julian in Mateo's eyes. And those are the moments that I look forward to and cherish the few times that I get to see him. So I want to thank Sheriff Joe Roybal and his investigative team that night. Your detectives, your officers that were there backing us up were phenomenal, are phenomenal. We work with them every day. And I can't say enough about the investigation that took place to get us to this point. Colorado Springs Police Department was also there assisting, Colorado State Patrol, all of the fire and police medical personnel that were there. All of this culminates to today where we're at. And today was a big day for the Fountain Police Department and the citizens of Fountain. And without Jeff Harwood, Brent Nelson, Coyette, I know you're listening or here somewhere, and Michael Allen and his entire staff, this was a difficult 3-year journey almost. And without them keeping us informed, updated, and really in the loop, the entire way, and nothing happened without us knowing, from my perspective. So I thank you all for your professionalism and everything you guys have done for us. Truly, these are great partners standing behind me, and I would not be able to be successful in my job without them. And I'm going to leave it at that. So I appreciate you all for taking the time. Thank you very much.
Sheriff Joe Roybal.
I appreciate you all being here. I do have a statement prepared, but I'm going to keep it folded. Today is a day where the culmination of a lot of hard work, many hours from investigators, patrolmen, multiple agencies, my detectives, Fountain PD, State Patrol, that worked tirelessly, not just because Officer Becerra was one of ours, he was a victim. And I hope this afternoon we have legislatures watching, stare in the face of the victims that remain here, that have to move on with their lives, carry on without their loved one. You know, the partnership with the DA's office, District Attorney Michael Allen, I think said it best. Every day, every shift, the men and women in law enforcement that swear to uphold the law and protect our community kiss their loved ones goodbye. This is the harsh reality they face, and we are blessed to live in El Paso County, where our community supports our law enforcement. That's why they go out there, knowing the dangers they face, knowing the frustrations that the legislature holds against us, tying our hands with our ability to do our jobs, holding criminals not accountable for what they do, holding police accountable, and restricting our ability to fight crime and keep you all safe. And they face those frustrations daily. They face those risks and those dangers, and they gladly and proudly don the uniform, don the badge to keep you all safe. And I know I share and speak for Chief District Attorney Michael Allen when I say I am proud of the men and women in the Pikes Peak region and all the law enforcement officers in El Paso County who take that risk gladly, with honor, to serve and keep you all safe. No matter who the victim is, they step up every single day and miss holidays and miss special occasions and miss sleep. And I stand here before you to reaffirm the promise that everyone up here makes, from the district attorney to police officers, that we will do everything within our power, despite the laws, to keep you all safe, because we love you and we love our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. I want to brag a little bit on members of the DA's office. This case presented some really unique challenges to it, challenges that are not normally seen in a felony murder case, where we've got a police officer falling off of a bridge based off of a violent offender's actions moving towards that police officer. Those challenges are very unique. And it took a lot of hard work from the investigation side, from the sheriff's office and all the other agencies that were involved, the Fountain Police Department, to give us a strong case that then this trial team could take forward and achieve a conviction on. And it struck to the very core of every single one of the members of this trial team. So when I say that the 4th Judicial District DA's office stands ready, willing, and able to hold violent offenders accountable, it's because I know that we have men and women in this office who are willing to do that every single day for the victims of these violent offenders. People like my Assistant DA, Brent Nelson, behind me, Chief Deputy DA Jeff Harwood to my right, DA Investigator Cecil Weir, I think, is somewhere in the back of the room there. All of the support staff, Kim Danluck, Koyette Hansen, Ariel Rubosh, and everybody else on every single case that we have in this office is ready, willing, and able to take on the toughest of tough cases. And we do it proudly, and we do it because this community demands it and deserves the ultimate justice that we can achieve through the court system. So I just wanted to finish on that, and thank you to the team and to Brent and Jeff especially for putting in the hard work and the hours that they had to put in to achieve a 132-year prison sentence on a difficult case like this one presented to us. And that's all I've got. If anybody has any questions, yeah.
There were two counts in there that ran concurrently compared to consecutively. Can you kind of explain what went on to lead to that? I think you mentioned it.
Yeah, so the question is, there were a couple of counts that ran concurrent as opposed to consecutively, and basically the result of that is that if the elements of certain crimes are the same or are part of the same elements of another crime, then the court is required to run them concurrently, and so that's how that happened. Yep. Any other questions? Not seeing any other questions. I want to thank you again for being here today, for being here to remember Officer Julian Becerra. He is the reason why we're standing here today, to talk about the justice that was achieved by this trial team and by the investigation, and to remember going forward, Katie and Gabriel and Claudia and everybody that loved Julian Becerra and will continue to love him into the future. So thank you again for remembering Julian and being here for him today. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. I don't anticipate any further updates, but if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.